Hi everyone, welcome back to Living with Lyria. Today I'm so excited to have our very special guest Daria with us. Thanks for joining me,
Yeah.
Daria.
Thank you, Lyria. It's really a pleasure to be here and share a bit of my journey with all of you.
So let's start at the very beginning. Can you tell us a little about your childhood? Like, what was life like before all this modeling and camera lights came into play?
Of course. My story actually began in a small town far away from the bustling city lights. It was peaceful. Imagine open skies, the gentle rustle of trees, and many hours spent reading or daydreaming. I was a quiet observer, learning more by watching than speaking.
That sounds almost idyllic. I mean, it's like those simple moments build the roots of who we become,
Yeah.
right? But tell me, when did you first notice something different? Something that hinted at a change in your life?
Well, interestingly enough, I never really dreamed of being a model. It just sort of, found me by accident. A friend snapped some photos purely for fun, and before I knew it, calls and opportunities started trickling in. One day, I was simply the quiet Daria from a small town, and the next, I was under bright lights with people I'd never met giving me directions.
Wow, that sounds like a whirlwind. It's like you were thrust into an entirely new world.
Right.
Do you remember your very first big photo shoot? What was going through your mind back then?
Oh, definitely. I was nervous. Everything was so new and overwhelming. Imagine stepping into a movie set where the lights, makeup, and hustle all feel like it's like a storm of activity around you. At the same time, there was this thrill, like I was stepping into a new story. But honestly, amidst all that excitement, there was also a fear of losing, well, who I really was.
I get that. It sounds both magical and intimidating. There's a kind of, tension between the glamour and the vulnerability behind it all.
Exactly. And as I adjusted to this flashy world, I remember trying to become what everyone around me expected. Confidence, perfection, all very superficial ideals that sometimes left me feeling a bit lost.
That's really interesting. And at the same time, I have to ask, don't you think that trying to live up to everyone's expectations might have, overshadowed your authentic
Right.
self a bit too much?
Lyria, that's something I wrestled with a lot. There were moments when I looked in the mirror after a long day on set, and I wondered, who are you right now? It was a constant balancing act between fulfilling expectations and, well, holding on to my own voice.
And that must have been so challenging, navigating that delicate line between the image and the real you.
Yeah.
So, how did you manage to adjust and, reclaim your own identity amidst all of this?
It took time, patience, and a lot of self-reflection. The first step was learning to say no to things I wasn't comfortable with. I had to resist the urge to conform perfectly. I discovered that true strength comes from, well, being honest with yourself, even if it means sometimes appearing less than perfect.
I can imagine that was a turning point. It's almost like each no you said was a step toward rediscovering your own narrative.
Yeah,
Were there any specific moments that really defined that shift for you?
absolutely. There was that moment right after a particularly overwhelming shoot.
Right.
I remember feeling utterly exhausted, and so I made a decision. I had to protect the parts of me that weren't just for the camera, even if it meant stepping away from the trend or turning down an offer. That decision was, well, like reclaiming my voice.
That sounds so brave. I mean, it's like you built a little fortress around your true self, but some might argue that compromising too much on the industry's demands could cost you opportunities. How do you respond to that?
I understand that perspective, Lyria, but I respectfully think that real lasting opportunities come when you stay authentic. Sure, the industry might offer many fleeting chances if you conform, but truly meaningful success, where you're not just seen as a trend, comes from being genuine.
That's a powerful stance. It's like you're redefining what success means on your own terms.
Right.
So, What does a real day in your life look like now when the cameras are, off?
On my best days, it's all about simplicity. I wake up, have a good cup of coffee, maybe take a walk, or even sit quietly in a cafe and just, observe the world around me. I dress the way I want, not just for a shoot. And these moments, while ordinary, help me reconnect with who I am.
I love that. The beauty in the everyday. It's like, despite the glamour, the true essence of life really unfolds in those simple rituals.
Exactly. Yes. And over time, my dreams have, well, transformed too. What used to be about the excitement of the runway has evolved into a longing for deeper connections, a desire to explore new places, to, understand myself better, and to simply, be present in each moment.
That evolution really speaks to, the heart of what it means to grow. Your journey seems to reflect a kind of, poetic wanderlust and personal introspection. It's quite inspiring.
Thank you, Lyria. I believe that our experiences shape us in more ways than one, and sometimes it's in those quiet moments that our true self emerges.
And speaking of true self, if you could, go back and offer a piece of advice to your younger self, or maybe to young women tuning in right now, what would you say?
I'd say don't be afraid to be different. Embrace your uniqueness, hold on to your own voice, and, never feel pressured to fit into someone else's mold. It's okay to be a little messy, a little unsure, because that's where real beauty lies.
That's such honest advice. And it reminds me just how important it is to see beyond the surface, beyond the stunning images and the runway glitz, and discover the person beneath.
Right, absolutely. It's easy for people to just see the photos, the glamour, but I hope they recognize that I'm a person who's continuously growing, learning, and sometimes even struggling.
It's so important for us all to remember that, isn't it? That behind every perfect shot, there's a story, a life filled with ups and downs, moments of doubt, and moments of triumph.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And honestly, even with all the challenges, it's those very struggles that have, deepened my understanding of who I am.
I really admire that, Daria. Your journey shows that while the spotlight can be blinding at times, it's the quiet moments of self-reflection that illuminate our real path.
Right, for sure. And I hope that sharing these parts of my story helps others realize that it's okay to be, vulnerable and authentic, to be just human.
Absolutely. Before we wrap up, I'd love to ask, what is your biggest dream now? Where do you see yourself heading beyond the flashes and the runways?
I dream of embracing a quieter but deeper life. I want to see sunrises over unexplored places, to travel not for the sake of work, but for true joy, and to craft stories that resonate with the soul. And above all, I hope to build genuine connections that remind me and everyone that we are enough just as we are.
That's such a beautiful way to frame it. It's like you've found a sense of balance between the external demands of the industry and the internal call for authenticity.
Yeah, exactly, Lyria. It's been a journey of learning, unlearning, and finally embracing all the layers that make up who I am.
Thank you so much, Daria. Your insights are not only inspirational, but also a powerful reminder that real transformation comes from acknowledging every part of ourselves.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lyria, and thank you to everyone listening. Remember, it's okay to be vulnerable, to stumble, and then rise with even more grace. Stay true, stay you.
And with that, we wrap up today's conversation. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share these reflections with those who need a little inspiration. Until next time, keep living your truth.